everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing yet another group collaboration, which I'm so excited about. Last month we did a group collaboration just showcasing all of our Pat McGrath products, and it was such a fun video. We had such a great time. We decided to do it again. So we decided to kick things up a little bit because there's a lot of Natasha Denona palettes and there's a lot of the mini palettes and the big palettes and stuff like that. We decided to do two different eyeshadow looks with two palettes in this video. So I was assigned the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which I was actually really excited about because I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. I like this palette, but I don't reach for it that much. I'm excited to create a look with this palette. For the mini palette, I was assigned the mini Nudes palette, which is my favorite out of all of the nudes. I have all the Nudes palette. This one is definitely my favorite, and I think it's only because it's just so easy. You know, it's one of those that you can just pull out and wear with pretty much anything. So I think it's special and I love it. Morgan Turner was my partner, and she sent over looks to use as inspiration for the two looks from these palettes. So up here on the screen, you will see the inspiration that she sent over for the mini Nudes palette. These, I was like, oh my gosh, these women are like major artists. Fingers crossed that I can pull this off. These are beautiful looks. Then up here on the screen, these are the images that she chose for the Sunrise palette. And I am definitely not near as talented as the ladies that are in these images. I am going to try. I sent inspiration to Mel, which I am excited because I chose one of my looks that was a little bit more of like the peachy and blues and stuff. I'm so excited to see what she creates. We all know that Mel does the most prettiest looks on the planet. So I'm really, really excited to see what she creates with the looks that I sent over to her. In the video, I am collaborating with all of my beautiful friends that I absolutely love and adore. I am collaborating with the Miss Mel Thompson. We all know she is absolutely beautiful. We also have Alicia from Kinky Sweat. We all know that she is just unbelievably detailed in every review, and I love her to pieces. We're also collaborating with my sweet friend Morgan Turner, which you guys all know. I have a special place in my heart for little Miss Morgan. And then we're also collaborating with my sweet friend Glam Girl Kelsee. She is absolutely beautiful. Kelsee is the sweetest, you guys, seriously. And we also have Miss Kelsee Briana Jai, who is the brains behind the operation. Let me just say, that girl has good ideas. She is the one that kind of pulls it all together. Last month we collaborated with Michelle Wong, but this month she wasn't able to join in because she was having technical difficulties. I'm telling you guys, the YouTube world is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs sometimes. So we'll get her on the next one. We love you, Michelle, and we will see you in our next collaboration. Up here on the screen are some images of these beautiful creators and one of the two looks that they each created. Can't wait to watch their video and see how they created each one of these looks because they are so beautiful and they each did such a great job. So definitely head over to their channel and check out both of their eyeshadow looks using two different palettes, one of the larger palettes and one of the mini palettes. I will leave a link in the description box down below so you guys can head over and check out their looks and give them a love for me. So that's what we're going to be doing. I do have some Natasha Denona products that I'm going to be putting like on my face and stuff. I have two foundations. I have a concealer. I have, you know, several of the face palettes, but then of course we're going to be doing the looks using the Natasha Denona palettes. Well, I'm really excited about this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the inspired looks, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. Okay, so let's start playing with some Natasha Denona. I'm really, really excited about this. I love collaborating with these ladies. They're just, you guys, they are some special people, and you know, from my experience, what you see on camera is who they are behind the camera. They're just incredible people. And I am so, so grateful that they have invited me on yet another collaboration video. So I'm going to start with the complexion. I technically have 3 foundations from Natasha Denona, but I can't find one of them, and it's totally fine because I wouldn't be applying it anyways because it's a bad one. It's the Transform Matte, I believe. I will put it up here on the screen. That foundation is definitely not for my skin type. It was horrible. I think I gave it away because it was so bad. But I have 2 here that I'm going to pick between. So I have the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. This one was Samantha Ravendale's favorite foundation for a long, long time. If you guys watch her, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like this was her holy grail. And then this is the Foundation X Plus. This is a full coverage foundation. This is way dark for me. This is 70WN medium, warm neutral undertone, and it is dark, like dark. And it's a kind of a serum type foundation. Like I don't really remember how I feel about it, to be honest with you, because it definitely was just not one that I picked up all the time. Just because it was too dark. Hope it hasn't spit all over me because I am wearing white pants, but it leaked like down in, but that's not the foundation's fault. Faulty packaging happens all the time. I mean, come on. But it's dark. Like, and it's not that it's dark, it's just orange. Do you see how orange that is? So I'm just not going to be able to wear that. I mean, it doesn't even match my tan. So I think I'm going to use this. I have this one in the shade 42. I think this matches me. I've already applied my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I went ahead and put that on before I come on camera. It's very, 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 very thick, you guys. Very thick. I don't know how many times I need to say that for you guys to believe me, but it's thick. For the brush, I'm getting light medium coverage. She's so thick that it's one of those that I'm going to definitely have to go over with a sponge. Coverage and the finish is similar to the Lancome Skin Feels Good, but I think the Lancome Skin Feels Good is way better. If I had to pick, I would 100% choose the Lancome Skin Feels Good. It has the same type of coverage, but it's not as thick. It does make the skin look really beautiful though. It really does. It has a really pretty finish. I just feel like you have to use so many pumps to kind of get it there. But if you like a light coverage, then I think this actually might work for you. I like how natural it looks. I do like that about this, but I feel like there's a lot of products out on the market that kind of give you the same look. That's where I'm at with it. Now I'm gonna move into the concealer, which the concealer is matte. So I don't know how this is gonna work. This is the Transfix Matte Concealer. I have it in the shade 9WY, which is warm yellow. And I did not like this concealer. This concealer is extremely drying, extremely. And the trick with this, I learned this when I was reviewing it. It's so dry that you see how it gets kind of crusty around the packaging. I'm going to put some extra moisture underneath my eyes. I'm just using my Natasha Silk Peony eye cream. You have to go in one eye and work with one eye, and then once you get it set, leave it alone, because it's one of those that once it dries, if you go in with something, it'll kind of lift the product off of the skin. Kind of dries down to a powdery finish, because this one dries to a powdery finish. You know, the Tarte Creaseless, or not Tarte Creaseless, what am I talking about? The Tarte Shape Tape. The Tarte Shape Tape is mattifying, and so it can be very drying, especially for us, you know, aging women, for those of us that are a little bit older than, you know, 20 years old. The Tarte Shape Tape is very thick. That's one thing about the Tarte Shape Tape that I do not like, is it's extremely thick. Now with this one, I would say it's the opposite of that. It's not near as thick as the Tarte Shape Tape. It's a very thin formula that dries down to a powdery finish, but it also can age you because of that. So I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it, and it just, you know, is what it is. But I wanted to apply it on camera in case any of you guys were out there, maybe, you know, interested in it. I know it doesn't have the best ratings on Sephora. So the three face palettes that I have are the Natasha Denona Bloom. This is the Blush and Glow. I really like this one. This one is kind of my favorite. This blush is very, very pigmented, so you got to be very careful with it, but it's so beautiful. Now, I also love the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow. This is my favorite out of all the things that I have from Natasha Denona. Well, besides this one that I'm going to talk about. This is one of my favorites. It's very pigmented, very beautiful, but she has this smaller one, which is the Bronze and Glow, and it's like 19 bucks. And this actually works really, really well. Now, I know that a lot of the girls have the bigger, larger Natasha Denona face palettes. I have not bought the larger face palettes only because I have so many bronzers and blushes that I really haven't found the need to spend that much money on a bigger palette. Now, if I didn't have very many options, you know, if I had a smaller makeup collection, then that is definitely the way to go, especially if you love her formula. But I also have the Love Glow. This one was not my favorite only because these two shades right here are just very, very strong, like almost too glittery for me and my personal taste. But when she launched this, I love this blush shade. It is so beautiful. And I am going to go as far as to say, I think it's prettier than NARS Orgasm. I think it's beautiful. It blends into the skin like a dream. It's so gorgeous and it's not too glittery. It's not too sparkly. And you know, you definitely want to tap your brush off because it's a little bit strong. But oh my gosh, this is definitely my favorite Natasha Denona blush. And it's the smaller one. I think this one's like 19. Love the color of this blush. It's just beautiful. So I'm not going to use any contour because I don't really have any contour products from Natasha Denona. And I'm just going to, you know, I'm just going to use the bronzer. I'm going to grab this shade right here. And I'm going to kind of just like place it on exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to blend it out. You can see how pigmented it is. It's a really pigmented powder. You can see just how easily it blends out. I mean, it blends out so good, and it's not a muddy formula, which is what I love most about it, to be honest. It just, I mean, look at that. I mean, it blends out really good. So now that I got that done, I am going to move on to the blush. I am going to go into this shade. I love this shade, you guys. Oh my gosh, I love this shade. So I'm going to pop some here and pop some here, and then I'm going to blend it out. That's the way I like to apply it. I like to put it on, like one dip on both sides. It looks a little strong, but once I put powder on, it doesn't look that strong. I always go a little bit heavy with my blush because it's the first thing that starts to wear off throughout the day. So I like to put it a little bit heavy and then I will calm it down. I know it looks a little crazy. I know, I can hear you through the camera going, girl, calm that blush down. I feel like you need to have a certain skin type to wear this foundation. And I also think you need to have a certain type of look that you're going for. For highlighter, I'm going to use this shade in the tan palette right here. I'm going to be using the new Hourglass Soft Focus Setting Spray. Okay, so let's move on to eyeshadow. I have several eyeshadow palettes from Natasha Denona. My palettes that I was assigned to is the Natasha Denona The Sunrise palette, which is just so pretty. And then also the Natasha Denona Mini Nudes palette. That eye look will be right after this one. I also have one of the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal top coats. I have it in peach. If you guys know me, I love peach. Peach is my favorite thing. But this shade is one of my favorite peach shades. The only thing that I don't like about this is it can get hard panned very quickly. So it's kind of one of those products where I put up with the fussiness of it, if you will, scrape it with my fingernail and then kind of, you know, put it on there. It's beautiful though. One of the prettiest top coats. I think I might use this in this video so you guys can see kind of how it applies. Like I said, kind of a fussy formula to work with. It's my favorite peachy shade, so I just deal with it. Here on the screen are the looks that Morgan wanted me to have inspiration from, and these looks are so beautiful. And I thought about, for this look, maybe doing this eye look that I'm showing you on the screen right now, but in a very toned down way, only because I kind of look crazy with those real sharp cat eye looks. And so I liked that one because it was so springy, and I love the peachy corally shades that are in this palette. So I thought it might be fun to do a look something similar to this. I'm going to take my Sonia G Blender Pro, and I'm going to go into the shade Morning. This is going to be kind of my transition, and I'm going to use this all into the crease, all into the inner corner, coming out into the outer corner. I want that shade to be very visible in the eye look. And so because the shade is so light, I'm gonna have to go into it, you know, 2 or 3 times just to get that shade to really pop with the eye look. But the good thing about this shade is it's very pigmented, and it does not take very much for it to build. Next, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. This one is the Mini Booster from Sonia G. So I'm going to use the shade Morgan, which is right above it, kind of keeping that right into the crease and having it peek out just a little bit. I'm going to go back to the first brush I was using. I'm going to go back into the Morning shade and just bring that back to life. Right there on the right above the crease. Next up, I'm gonna go into the shade Glory. So I'm gonna use my Builder Pro from Sonia G. So I'm gonna kind of map out exactly where my crease is and just barely start kind of shading that in. I'm also gonna bring that right here on the outer corner of the eye. And I'm just going to switch to a clean blending brush and just blend it out, but not blending it up too high. I'm keeping it right there in the crease. I'm going to go back to the shade Morgan, which is like the peachy shade, and I'm going to go right over top of it just so that that peachy shade is very dominant inside the crease. And then I'm going to go into Morning one more time and bring that back to life up here. I think I'm going to dip into a tiny bit of Jasper right here on this outer corner, putting it right over top of that really pretty kind of hot pink. The look that Morgan inspired me to create kind of has a cut crease. So I'm actually going to cut my crease. So I'm going to use the Chroma Crystal top coats because I want to show you guys, you know, how it works and stuff. And I just kind of scrape it like this. Okay, so I loaded up this brush with it, and I'm gonna spray my brush. I want to mist it, not spray it. I just want to mist it. But the reason I'm gonna do it is because I don't want it to have a bunch of fallout. And I'm just gonna start basically applying it all over where I did the cut crease. It's such a beautiful peachy shade though, right? Like so pretty. If you don't have these Chroma crystals and you want to create something like this, you could mix this azalea and the agate, and I think you could possibly get a little bit of a peachy pink, maybe even all 3 of these shades, because this is kind of a peachy coppery shade, but it has a hint of like a pink in it. So you could possibly mix this shade with the agate and maybe even day spraying and have all 3 of those shades cut together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my brush in between Clove and Jasper. Kind of just start doing this with it and just kind of buff that into that. Make sure that that outer corner is good. I'm going to wipe the brush off, and I'm going to go into a little bit of Morgan, which is that really pretty peachy shade. And I'm gonna put Morgan right down the center, just to really diffuse that. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna layer everything like I did up on the upper lid. I'm gonna first go into Morning to really buff it in, but blowing it out a little bit lower. I'm gonna go into Morgan, which is that peachy shade, and I'm gonna apply it right on the base of the lash line. I'm gonna go into the shade Clove and really pack that here on this outer corner. Actually, I think I'll wet it down. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this flat brush. I'm gonna go into Clove, and I'm gonna spray it. Make it like an eyeliner. And I am going to go right at the base of that dark. Oh, didn't that just make such a good difference? I think I'm gonna do the same thing while the brush is wet. I'm gonna go right on the base of the lower lash line with that, and use it as an eyeliner. I have 3 lip products from Natasha Denona. I have 2 lipsticks in the nudes. So I have 2 shades in the I Need a Nude. I have Michelle and Liron. And these are really beautiful. So this is Liron and this is Michelle. And both of these would go really pretty with this look. They're really, really pretty. Then I have this. This is the Mark Your Liquid Lip. And I have it in the shade Nude. This is a metallic liquid lipstick. Now let me say this about this product. It's very thick, number one. You gotta make sure that you wipe off the applicator because a lot comes off and you don't want to put that much on. This is a type of product that once it goes on and you blend it out, it completely dries. And that's such a beautiful shade. Look at that, how pretty that is. I love it, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna use this lip liner from KKW Beauty. It's Nude number 2. And I'm gonna grab the shade Peach 2 from KKW Beauty. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit of Liron, just a little bit, just to give me a little bit of a creamy base. Then I'm gonna grab this metallic liquid lip, wipe off the applicator. So this is the final look using several face products from Natasha Denona and the Sunrise palette. I love the way that this eyeshadow look turned out. I think it's just so beautiful. And I'm really glad that I was inspired to do this because I think that's what makes it fun about these inspired images that somebody else picks out for you. It might not be something that you would personally pick out, but then once you do it and you kind of do it in your own way, it kind of becomes something that you actually really like and you didn't actually think that you would. So I think this turned out really cute. I really like it. Let's go ahead and jump into the next eyeshadow look using this Natasha Denona Mini Nudes palette, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. I hope that you guys enjoyed these I hope that you guys enjoyed these tutorials. They were so much fun, and thank you, Morgan, for sending over such great inspiration for me to kind of pull from and create. I kind of feel proud, like I kind of feel good that I was able to do it, because I'm not a makeup artist, and I am surrounded by all of these women who are so talented. You know how talented all of the women are that are in this collaboration, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do what, I mean, they do some beautiful makeup. So I'm kind of proud of myself. I kind of feel like a sigh of relief that I did it, and I'm good. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this collaboration video. Definitely check out all of the other creators that collaborated with me. It kind of just makes it feel more of a community versus just constantly doing it on your own. So I really appreciate the community vibes that we have here, and all of you that comment in our comment section. I know that many of you follow all of us. It just feels like we're just all a bunch of group of people that just love makeup, and we have so much fun. We're nice to each other, and there's just a lot of love, and I really, really love the group that we have. The audience is just incredible, and we are very, very grateful for that. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I love you all so, so much, and I will see you guys all in my next video. I love you. Bye.